and welcome to the first mini-map. Essentially, I was thinking about this podcast and a wise friend said it would be good to try and capture some of the information from the audio podcasts that I've been doing since last summer. So I decided to do some mini-maps. This is the first. The first one is all about why am I doing this? So why did I decide to start Map the Maze, to do podcasts, to learn about how to put them on YouTube? And the reason is really because through my work, and I'm setting up for mediation this morning, I realized that there are a lot of people who don't have a lot of information or resources or capacity to find information and help and support. And I can help people one-on-one when I'm working with them in mediation to the best of my ability, obviously. But I decided that I wanted to share some of the information, that there are lots of people who will be approaching mediation with some anxiety, some trepidation about what to expect, and that I wanted to be able to put information out there that I think is positive, is helpful, and most importantly, effective. So the reason I'm doing this podcast is to reach more people, is actually to get the message out that whilst mediation is really hard work, and I never, ever minimize how much work it is for the parties that I'm helping through mediation, but that there are ways to make it easier on yourself, to make it more constructive, to make it a more positive experience. And so that was really the genesis for Map the Maze, that I wanted to get the word out, I guess like lots of evangelicals. The reason why I, in particular, am doing this is really about my conflict journey, which is that my parents divorced when I was 3, and with the benefit of hindsight and the benefit of significant amounts of training and learning, I can see how badly it was done. That obviously I really don't have a recollection of what happened at the time because I was only 3, but from the fallout, I can see that it wasn't handled well. And so as a child of divorce, that experience, that family experience, that family history is something that I carry with me. It also meant I didn't really get great lessons about how to manage conflict as a child. And definitely avoidance was the mode of choice. That was a challenge that in life, I think that made things hard for me, harder than they needed to be. And that I didn't help myself, didn't reach out and find resources, get better information, learn better skills until I went and did a master's in dispute resolution. So I qualified as a lawyer originally, worked as a solicitor, did criminal litigation, which seems a lifetime ago, worked in banking for over 14 years, primarily doing equity derivatives, for those of you who know about banking, and decided I really wanted to do something more constructive, to do something where I'm using some of the professional skills that I've gained, but in a way that felt more positive. And so I left, which at the time, I think for a lot of people seemed like a crazy idea, and went off to do a master's in dispute resolution. And honestly, even if my mediation journey never works out the way I want it to, it changed my life. That master's gave me an insight into how conflict works, into how I think about conflict, into ways to do it better. And one of the things that I really came away from that master's with was the desire to help reduce pain. That's kind of my basic principle. How can I help people to reduce pain? That personally, in my professional life, I've seen how conflict has wounded people, has hurt people, and that I think for some of the people that I know, they carry those scars, have carried those scars their whole life. And so for me, what's really important is helping people find ways to do it better, to reduce the pain. I can't stop the pain, but I can reduce through tools, through skills, through information, can reduce the amount of pain that people experience and hopefully lead to a more constructive outcome going forward. So that's why I'm doing this. So that's the first mini map. Thanks for listening, and stick around for another one.